Hey guys, so yeah, on YouTube recently I've been watching Book2Films and they've done like a good representation of the film version of the books, and I actually quite like them. I like the Lord of the Rings Book2Films. They were amazing. I love the Hobbits, they were cool. And like Fault in Their Stars, I haven't actually watched that. And I might watch, I don't know, it's not kind of my thing. Like, I love film isn't my kind of thing, but I'll see how it goes. I think If I Stay is a book and I watch that film, surprisingly pretty good. A bit girly to be honest, but that's what I think of it. But today, if you already saw the title, I'm going to be doing the reverse of book to film. I'm going to be doing film to books. So what this video is going to be my top 5 films, not top 5 of my favourite films, but just top 5 films that would be good as books. And it's going to be pretty interesting because I've been searching for it to see if anyone else has done a video on it. I haven't found anyone who's done a video on it, so it could be pretty interesting for like if I'm the only one who does it, and hopefully if I get grown and known and stuff, I can make people do this video, so it'll be pretty cool. So let's just get this started. And I don't know if some of these films are chosen has been already done to book. I don't think any of them have, but if they have, then that's pretty stupid. Okay, so my first film that I chose was this film, and I've watched it ages ago, but I actually really loved it. It's Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, and it's got Jim Carrey, and it's a pretty funny film, and it's actually really good. The reason why I chose this is because it just looks like it has what it should have in a book. Like, it's got, just looking by the cover, it looks like a book cover in a way. Like, just to me, it looks like it has the potential of a book, and it kind of is funny in a way, because reading this blurb in a way, it just feels right to be in a book, like, which I think anyway. And like the writing stuff there is by Lemony Snicket. I don't know if that's this person, I don't know, I don't actually remember. I don't actually know, but I just think this film is like, it's just, to me, I think it's going to be a good book. If it turns into a book, if it already is a book. I haven't read it, I want to read it. It looks pretty cool, so I want that as a book. My next film that will be good as a book, like a thriller style, would be Wanted, and I loved this film. I watched it on TV once and I just got to the end, which is a shame, but it was amazing, so good, action packed, my favourite film. Just how the bullet time was amazing. So if you don't know what Wanted is about, it's about Weasley Gibson is a cube-dwelling hypochondriac with a boss who humiliates him and a cheating girlfriend. His life is going nowhere. Wes discovers that his estranged father has been brutally murdered and finds himself thrust into a secret society of assassins called the Fraternity. During his training at the hands of a skilled mentor named Fox, this once office-bound wimp develops lightning-fast reflexes and superhuman dexterity. However, with his first assignment, Wes finds out the only thing more difficult than ending the lives of others is summoning the courage to take control of his own. And for me, that just calls out book. I don't know why, but this should be a really, really good book. Like, a good thriller in a way. And it just, I don't know why, but for me, it just feels like a good book. Like, I can see some parts in, like, of the film becoming a book. Like, in a book, like the bullet time, that could be a good part in a book. And also the ending, if you haven't seen this film, I don't want to say much because you need to see it and I don't want to spoil it, but the ending for this film would be an awesome part awesome ending in a book. Like, just because you can give more detail in the book than a film, because you watch it, you don't read like in between the lines, obviously, but it'll just be a good book. My next film would just be so good as a fantasy book, and I don't know why, but for me this would be super awesome as a book. Like, just so good. It's this film, Immortals, and the film is amazing, like really good, and I can just feel the aspect of it in a book, and it just calls out book again. It's like got the right scenery, the right setting as to be in a fantasy book. Like, there's not really much books which I think which involves like going back in time or whatever, and just, I don't know, just like a Rome book. I don't think I've seen a Rome book, well, for me anyway, I don't think I have, but this just calls out book because it's just so good. Like, it's about Immortals is a visually stunning and bloody retelling of the epic Greek legends of Theseus. The ruthless King Hyperion leads his bloodthirsty army on a murderous rampage across Greece to find a deadly weapon that can kill the gods themselves. Only Theseus, a mortal chosen by Zeus, king of the gods, can lead the fight against Hyperion and his evil army, with the fate of mankind and the gods at stake. That just rings the bell for book. Like, I don't know why, but this film, it would just be so good as a book, but not called, it could be called Immortals, but something other than Immortals, because Immortals on a book wouldn't really grab my attention. Actually it would, but something else would also grab my attention. But if this was a book, I would read it straight away, because it would just be so much awesomeness, like amazing. Now my next film is also probably a thriller, and this might f your eyes up, but hopefully it won't, because the case is actually really cool how it is. I love it. The film itself was a bit mind-fucking, but it was pretty good, so it's pretty cool. It's an instantly brilliant and non-stop ride, 90-minute thrill ride. I said that wrong. Source Code. That film is really confusing, but a really good film, and I can just see this as a book. It's just so good. So let me tell you about this film. Captain Coulter Stevens is on a mission to identify a bomber who destroyed a train just hours earlier, and who plans to kill thousands more with a much larger explosion in the heart of Chicago. A top secret program named Source Code allows Coulter to exist briefly as another man in a parallel reality of the doomed commuter train. Each time he returns to the train, Coulter has just 8 minutes to uncover the bomber's identity. The more he learns, the more convinced he becomes that he can prevent the deadly blast from ever happening, unless time runs out first. And this, oh my god, this, as I said, is an awesome film. And this will just be a thrilling, grabbing your attention book. Like, if this was a book, I would not put this book down. At the moment, I'm reading The Girl on the Train, and amazing thriller, so good. In a way, it's kind of like this film, but in a way it's completely different. I can't put that book down until now when I'm recording this video. But that book is amazing. This is my second day of getting it, and for me, I'm nearly finished it, and that's the fastest I've ever read a book, and it was just so amazing. But this book, this film, I mean, will just be an awesome book. Like, so amazing. Like, obviously it'll be a bit repetitive, but it wouldn't be, because each time he goes back in it like progresses. But it's just so good. Like, oh, so amazing. You just need to watch this film, because it's just so amazing. It really is good. I'm glad I brought this actually, because when I was going to Wales, I was getting some films. I got the Devil Inside, which is amazing horror, bit funny as well, and this is amazing. Now, Ugh. Now my final film, that'll be an awesome book, is going to be, let me set up for this. This isn't my film, I haven't actually seen this before. So I might watch this, but it's like an old film, I guess. Because the cover looks old and the back of it looks old, but it's called Deathstalker. And Deathstalker looks pretty interesting. It'll be a really good fantasy book for like people that are like so into fantasy, and it's just so good. I think this will be an adult fantasy more than a teen fantasy, like in a way, like an adult fiction more than a teen fiction. But yeah, this is my first time reading about the film, so it should be. I'm gonna see what it's like. The warrior Deathstalker is tasked by an old witch lady to obtain and unite the three powers of creation. I can't read it right. A chalice, an amulet, and a sword. Lest the evil magician monka gets them and unless the evil magician monka gets them and uses them for nefarious purposes. After obtaining the sword, Deathstalker joins with other travelers going to the big tournament to determine the strongest warrior. The false king holds the true princess. The true king holds the true princess in captivity and plots to have Deathstalker killed, and Deathstalker must fight to free the princess. Okay, for me, this, right, I never knew about this film, but I just thought it would be good. But for me, reading this, it doesn't seem interesting. I don't know why I picked this. But I understand where, like, for older people would enjoy this more than young people, because it is an old film, as you can tell by the front and like the back in a way. But I wouldn't choose this, so I don't know why I chose this, but oh wow. So they are my top 5 films to books that I would like, and if you enjoyed it, then put a thumbs up. If you think any of the films would be good as a book, then comment down below, and subscribe if you're new around here if you want to see some videos, not every day, but if you want to see like videos whenever I do them, then subscribe and like this video to show me support and show me that you're liking it. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.